Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by BB. There is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about markets. Welcome, guys. I'm Tommy. You also know me as Snorlax. I'm joined by Max, Unbothered Jackus, and soon Tucker as well. But I hope you have all had a great start to the day, right? I keep saying I hope you've had a great week. We keep fluctuating up and down. Ultimately, though, we did get a very cool CPI. Well, I guess it wasn't that cool, but it was cool enough for markets to react in a very positive manner, as we have already, seen Bitcoin trading almost back to 100K. Obviously, ETH getting off the mat as well. Altcoins beginning to recover as well. I think they need maybe a little bit more work relative to Bitcoin, but it's about as good of a start that you could have asked for after the way that Monday went, right? I mean, we saw a big dip on Monday to create what looks to be our weekly low, and we have since squeezed bottom shorters. I think we flipped the weekly and the yearly open. Maybe not for every asset, but definitely for Bitcoin. We're going to talk about all of that and then some. But before we can do that, guys, we've got a green day. You have no excuses this time. Please smash the like button for us. The coins are ripping. If you can't smash the like button on a day like today, then when can you? But we always appreciate it when you do that, guys. And obviously it helps us grow our channel substantially. So that's the only reason why we ask. But yeah, I mean, let's get into the markets. It's macro data day. We love these days. Not really, but sometimes we can use them as propulsion for much larger moves within the market. And right now, Bitcoin and risk assets have responded very favorably. Whether or not the print was a huge miss, whether or not it was a huge, it came in much under the expectations. All that matters is how the market is reacting. And right now, the market is, it's responding in kind with a bullish pump. I think when Bitcoin flips 100K, that will probably be a pretty contextually significant level for this market. I don't know what exactly risk on looks like, given that some of these alts have broken their structure, but I do think that there are still a fair amount of altcoins that, still have maintained their structure and will likely continue to dominate the flow of things here over the next few weeks, the next few months. But I know a lot of people were looking for CPI and really kind of this macro event stuff as a proverbial green light, right? Nobody is ignoring the macro headwinds, but this is a market that trades off of short-term momentum to a large extent. The high time frame momentum, at least for crypto, remains higher. The short-term momentum now appears to be once again back in favor of the bulls. So we'll discuss that, of course, and then some. We're going to talk about what altcoins still look good, what metas and what narratives we think could continue to catch a bid here over the next few weeks. And yeah, hopefully everything in between. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat box. Any tickers that you want us to look at, obviously within reason. We're not going to be looking at your bottom of the barrel deck screener coins, but we will do our best to look at everybody's comments. And of course, if you do super chat us or leave a like button or leave a like on the video, we will be very appreciative of that as well. But how are we doing, guys? Happy. By the way, I don't know if you want me to say this, but it is Max's birthday. Everybody say happy birthday to Max in the comments. I'll go ahead and open up the floor and and see what everybody's thinking about the market today.
Well, thank you for the birthday wish, Tommy. Thanks for the birthday wishes. I got a lot of messages from you guys. Thank you. My only wish for today was that we would pump. That was it. I just did not want to deal with the bears, man. Like, they're just filthy, stinky creatures, and I didn't want to deal with them on my birthday. They belong in the zoo. They belong in the woods. They don't have a place here. And I just didn't want to deal with them. But yeah, nice green day on my birthday. Woke up, check CPI, good CPI, and the coins like it, right? And I was talking about this morning on our morning Discord call with our community, where we've got good a healthy level of U.S. unemployment, right? Low fours. We've got CPI headline cooled. We've got core actually coming in under expectations, cooling. And I asked the Bears, where is this recession you speak of? Where are the emergency hikes or cuts due to a resurgence of inflation or U.S. unemployment coming in higher than expected? None of it has manifested. It's not there, right? So, I mean, we got the last bit of data, in my opinion, that we needed for a while. Like, we have a lot of runway now where, the recent, labor data came in strong. CPI, PPI and CPI came in solid. What are we even talking about now? It's time for risk to rally. And just to add on to that, we're also less than a week away from Donald J. Trump taking office. I don't think that's a sell the news event. Actually, I think it's precisely the opposite. So, it's just a good day, guys. It's just a good day. And also, Jim, I can't even accept this, Jim. How do I refund this? Jim, you're too generous. You're too kind. I almost feel bad taking this, Jim. You do too much. All right, you do way too much. But thank you so much, Jim. Really appreciate it. Super kind, man. Jim, you're a legend.
What is that?
Preet Jane. What currency is that? Can someone help me?
Jackus.
Jackus.
No, that's even beyond me.
I have no idea what that is.
But
thank you so much. Yeah, of course I will share my Pepe plan. Of course. I mean, the summary on the plan is so much higher, but I'd be happy to show you. But yeah, man, where is this recession? Where is the skyrocketing U.S. unemployment? Where is the resurgence of inflation? Where? I don't see it. So I think we go up in a big way, at least in the first half of this year. So also, welcome back, Tucker. Damn, it's good to have you on the show again, brother.
Good to be back, brother. It's good to be back.
Guys, never travel again.
I know, Jack.
No, never traveling again. I don't care whose wedding it is. I don't care how awesome the destination is. I'm never traveling again. Nope, never happening. You know what we should do is we should get like ankle bracelet monitors for like house arrest for the entire BB team until ETH BTC is at new cycle highs. No one can leave their house.
I like that. It's a good idea.
We could combine it with like a shock collar. So like if you try to step outside, you just get electrocuted. Good combination. Little geofence.
Speaking of ETH BTC, guys, what do you guys think of it?
It's a good question, Jackus.
Maybe we can start the show there.
Well, Jack, as we were talking yesterday, if ETH can get above this 2025 open, it seems like it might be imminent bear death. We do need to finish what we started here, but it's looking pretty good right now, which is good. ETH BTC. I will say I find it interesting that ETH BTC came back, filled in the last FEG that we had on the entire chart right here. The last FEG. And it's trying to bottom. So I don't know. I mean, look, every time I've tried to call bottom on ETH BTC for like the past year, it's sold off. So I'm going to stop trying. Actually, no. Today, January 15th, my birthday. The bottom is in on ETH BTC. Never below 0.032325 again. You heard it here on my birthday. Never below. Do you understand this?
I'm sure Tommy has some thoughts on that. Or maybe not.
I actually
maybe
don't have any
both.
thoughts on it today.
Thank you so much, Michael, by the way. That's so generous of you. Thank you. Very, very kind.
I think if Bitcoin just keeps chopping up, it does make sense that we finally see ETH outperform, and I'm going to base that solely off of my Pepe bias. Because I think if Bitcoin's breaking this range, the upside it's headed towards 130, 140 as far as like thousands of dollars go. And I don't know where that leaves ETH, but I do think that probably lends very favorable towards an upside leg on Pepe. So I'm going to guess that it would be favorable for ETH as well. I just don't know to what degree.
Yeah, I think ETH BTC is probably done with most of the downside here. Here, I'm gonna Tommy this really quick, Max.
Oh my goodness,
it's gonna happen.
Well, see, this chart makes me
boom. This
bullish.
chart should make you feel even better about it, actually. But
is that Q1 or just like January or something?
This is through. This is just January. Okay,
so January following a Bitcoin halving year.
Yes, January in the post-halving, post-election year. Really, I mean, it was green, right? Like it went up, but you didn't really get the massive move until April. This happened in March, but really this blow off happened between April and June in ETH BTC. So that's really what we want to see, right? But either way, January should be positive for ETH BTC, right? It was green here, it was green here. This got, sold back pretty hard after it peaked at the end of Jan.
We'll probably do something like that, bro. Like we'll move off the low and then just like everyone will be like, that's it. And then just like a total jeet. And then maybe we'll rip after that. But there's no way. There's no way they don't. They have to crush our spirits one more time.
Yeah, it'll be something like that. Probably. But yeah, no, I agree with the inauguration. I think it's not the rumor, just buy the news, I guess. Like, I don't think
buy the rumor, buy the news, and then buy some more. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, exactly, Jackus. I think there's nothing bearish about inaugurating the same president who did this, right? I mean, I just put out a tweet about it, but it's the same setup we had in 2017 with the dollar and with the DXY.
For how long was ETH BTC selling back then? Oh, that's probably like a year or like
where
months.
Here?
Yeah, in 2016, but it was different time.
It was like a few months. This was like Q4 ETH BTC.
I meant since the 2016 high, but then I realized it's a year.
Yeah. But yeah.
Jesus, this is crazy. For like, if you think about it with this context, like maybe that's longer than the entire 2017 till 20 bear market. Like since the literal all-time high till the 2019 bottom. Like how long was that?
Yeah, let's see. From the high
to the low.
800 days.
And now?
From this high?
Yeah.
It's 13.
We are suffering. We are suffering, guys.
1100. Yeah. 300 more. A full another year, basically.
Nobody can say otherwise that this is the most vicious, hardest cycle in crypto history. It's never been harder. And I hate those guys who come out. It's like, no. All the past cycles, they were much harder than this one. Like, shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah. I mean, this is pain on ETH, but man, pressure creates diamonds. We're about to have something special happen. We're going to get rewarded for what we just had to go through here. I refuse to accept that those highs are not about to get taken out in like one quarterly candle on ETH. I refuse to accept it. Like looking at ETH BTC, I've never seen a chart that looks like that. It literally is going to paint like the stairs down, elevator up pattern. All those highs on ETH BTC are going to get rocked. Every single one of them. It's going to take one quarterly candle. It might even look like the 2017 one. Honestly, I think it's going to look more like 2017 than it will 2020, 2021. I think it's going to just be boom, straight to the upside. and Pepe is going to go to 100 to 200 billion. And it
It's-
is what it is.
It's crazy how quickly the price could have moved in 2017 versus how long it takes for this little of a move down. Like the time time aspect of these is crazy.
Mhm. What does Bitcoin dominance look like? Is it rolling over right now?
It's red on the day.
It's
I
inverted.
think it's trying to roll over here, man. Like I think we broke down. Like if you look at like the 3-day time frame, Tucker, look at the 3-day on this chart.
Yeah.
That looks like, you know, a couple attempted stabs back up, and it just couldn't do it, man. We just couldn't get her done. So it's alt season. Too bad.
Get her done.
Get her done. Guys, today is my 29th birthday, so I want 29,000 likes on the stream today. Okay, and I think that's being fair. I think it's fair. 29,000 or soybeans on the 5-second time frame. You decide. You decide.
I think that is fair. 29,000.
I don't see why. I mean, it's totally fair. Like, we might only have like 23,000 YouTube subs, but like, you know, 6,000 could come in off the streets and like it. It's fine.
I want to see 50% taken right there on dominance soon. Like
Crypto-
Dude,
this.
I want to see the lows taken from last cycle, and I want to see it first half of this year.
Crypto and asking honest question, not fudding. What is the narrative to pump ETH right now? Because the ETF didn't do as much for it as it did for BTC. You guys have any takes on this?
Yeah, making money, man. No one cares about the tech yet. Everyone just wants to make money. They're going to bid it as a proxy to bid risk, just like they are small cap shitcos, just like they do for Bitcoin. And seasonality does matter, you know? Like these boomers are not like transacting on DeFi, you know, they're bidding ETFs or they're buying shit in their Coinbase, you know. So I don't think it's bold to say. I think it's more bold to say that like they're not going to pump the price this time, because Tucker's other chart, he had the ETH BTC chart up with January post Bitcoin halving year marked out. And I don't think it's bold at all to say that we're going to get the same type of price action that we've had the previous 2 times. I think it's more bold to think that they won't pump it. Truthfully, we have a lot more evidence to suggest that they will pump it than they won't.
I saw somebody else tweet this out, but the same way that we were plotting the U.S. presidential elections on the chart, you plot inaugurations on the chart. I mean, you know, especially on like the others chart or like total 3. I mean, this is it over ETH BTC.
Dude,
right?
and how about in 2017, Tucker? That was literally when Trump took office.
I know, the same president that we're inaugurating in a week, you know, that did that. So not that, you know.
But no, it's different this time, and I'll tell you why. Because now he's actually bidding ETH through World Liberty Fi. Their wallet swapped Bitcoin for ETH like yesterday or the day before. That's different.
That is different.
So this time is different.
I guess so.
I see some equal highs up at 0.15.
Yep. And 7. There's a ton of them. They're everywhere on this chart.
That was kind of a joke. See where 0.15 is on the chart?
1.5?
I said that, and then no one.
I thought you meant 0.5.
No one said shit,
like,
and I was like, "Wow, either
that
they're
didn't
zoned
even-
out or they're super bullish." I don't know.
I just assumed you meant 0.5, 1.5. I mean, I think all you need is up here, though. Like you don't even need to do this. You know, you just need back up in here. Not even 0.1 or not even 0.1, just like 0.8. Like that's.
I think we
More than
do. I think we get back up to last cycle's highs. I really do. And here's why, Tucker. I'm Tommying the chart from you. Here's why. It's because the hidden alpha is the ETH BTC CME chart. We're in a range, bro. We just took out the range low. We're gonna go back up to range high. Maybe, dare I say 1.618?
What is that? Oh, it doesn't show the. It just says 0. What is that level though?
So from last cycle's high, 26% above what last cycle did. So maybe let's go back to your chart. What's 26% above the high of last cycle?
When you say last cycle, you mean here? Yeah.
Yes.
26%. 0.1111.
Yeah.
0.1s.
Yeah.
The legends say this is just a giant range since 2017.
Yeah. Well, okay. Hang on now, Jackus. That's a bold statement there. Hang on. I wasn't expecting that one. So legend says that we're in a giant range going back to 2017. So you're suggesting that similar to Bitcoin adjusted by or divided by the M1 money supply, maybe we see a range breakout and this time is different.
Please.
Please.
Chef?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know if I'm in the new highs camp for ETH just yet, but I do think if there were a time for ETH to do it, it's probably in the next few months.
I'm okay with you not being in the new highs camp for ETH BTC as long as you're not in the new lows camp. I can live with it.
What do you guys think of SPX?
Like the meme coin or the actual?
Just the fact that this is just still a question is crazy.
I know. Let's see. I mean, we got that gap fill. I don't know. We probably just chop around here for a while. It'll be interesting to see what the inauguration does for it, but oh wow, it's catching a bid. If this 3 drive is real on the dollar, like, then S&P should, keep going up. But
I'm not super confident there's that much more upside in something like the S&P, but I think if you find some good small cap tickers, you could definitely catch some moves, just like crypto.
oof, IWM, man.
The S&P has really struggled with that 6,100 level, especially with volatility finding a bottom. And also, the volatility skew, as we've talked about, is expected to climb into the middle of the year. So I do think that will probably put some pressure on the S&P from being able to go higher. But yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with Tucker that for the next few weeks, it really should just be chopping around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just. What about QQQ? What about the NASDAQ, Tommy?
I mean, NASDAQ, I think, is just going to kind of, it's probably going to be driven by more or less 2 stocks, Tesla and NVIDIA. I kind of feel like NVIDIA might be topped already. If it's not already in, it's probably pretty close, but I think the Tesla can probably keep going, in the interim. So will they counterbalance each other? I don't really know. I kind of feel like the NVIDIA momentum, though, has kind of run its course.
Yeah, I'm afraid so as well when it comes to NVIDIA. And I'm like, NVIDIA has a finger up there because I'm not sure what percentage it is of SPX, but I think it's around like 10% of it. Maybe that's too crazy, but actually let me look it up.
Let me ask you guys this though. So NVIDIA has kind of been that stock that's, led the market for a long time. Do you think it's possible that something like Tesla takes its place?
Let me see what Tesla
Like
is.
replaces Nvidia as what? As the
As kind of like it's like the juggernaut of the equities market, where it's like, yeah, maybe there's plenty that are lagging, but one stock performing overwhelmingly positively can really drag up the index as a whole. And I see Tesla potentially positioned to become that stock that is just like so big and has a strong catalyst being Elon's alignment with Trump. And typically also we know that Tesla and Bitcoin kind of pump together. I could see a scenario where the indexes kind of get dragged up by a new juggernaut. Maybe it's not Nvidia this time, but maybe it doesn't need to be. Maybe we can see SPX continue to grind a little higher than most think because there's a new juggernaut that refuses to just stop and it just goes crazy. Just a thought, though.
I think it makes sense that you see something like the NASDAQ make another high, right? I'm a little more skeptical about the S&P because it looks, I think the high time frame trend lacks a little bit of momentum. But the NASDAQ, like you said, where Tesla is going to have a little bit more weight, I do think that Tesla could continue to drag indices up, despite the fact that Nvidia is, probably forming a distribution right now.
Here's the thing about it too, is like, I'm actually not worried about the Nvidia distribution. One, it's going to take like a year for that thing to actually roll over, not like break structure, but like legitimately roll over. It's going to take a year. But also, if we look at Nvidia Bitcoin, right, or Bitcoin divided by Nvidia, that's something that we see every cycle, is that Nvidia pumps really hard first and then Bitcoin goes on a crazy run after. So I actually think it's good that Nvidia chills the F out, works on rolling over. Maybe we see a new juggernaut, keep equities alive and people excited about equities. Maybe it's Tesla, maybe it's something else. But I just want crypto to pump, and I think we're due. I think we're overdue. Let me put it that way. I think we are long overdue for something crazy in crypto. It's time.
First, Max, we all want crypto to pump, and second, we are very long overdue, as we discussed on the ETH BTC pairing, time-wise.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's been suffering.
Would just trying to do like the ratio in my head. I am a little bit uncertain as far as what I think ETH will do, but I think that if ETH even gets anywhere near an all-time high, and I think that it has a great shot this quarter, what does that look like for ETH beta, which will likely run a lot harder? And I'm going to go back to Pepe. I think that Pepe looks great here. It looks like one of the best large cap alts, or really any altcoin in the market. One of the things we said right at the beginning of the show, there are a lot of altcoins with structures that, even if Bitcoin and ETH rip to new highs from here, they're not going to, like, those altcoins are probably not going to rip to all-time highs. They'll give you some sort of high time frame complacency bounce and then likely continue a downtrend. But there are a lot of alts in this market that are very strong, and I think Pepe is absolutely one of them.
Yeah, I'm incredibly bullish on Pepe, man. I put out a tweet this morning where, like, the majority of the returns for something like Doge last cycle actually happened after Bitcoin corrected from like 40K to 30K, or like 45 to 30K last cycle. Point being is, like, Bitcoin right now is trying to come out of its first high time frame correction once in price discovery. And last cycle, when Bitcoin did that, it corrected from mid 40s down to, upper 20s. Altcoins got smacked, but then Doge went on its crazy historic run from like $1 billion to 80 billion. And that happened after Bitcoin came out of that first high time frame correction when in price discovery. So that's where Pepe's at right now, most likely, which is wild to think about. Pepe's already at 10 billion, but that's why I'm thinking, like, hey, we get a little bit of ETH USD, gasoline in the tank. We get an ETH BTC tailwind, and Bitcoin rips to like 130 or 140. I mean, you're going to see Pepe do what it did, in February, February, March of last year. I think you're going to see like a gap, breakaway candle to the upside. It's going to be that early Q1 move that we saw last year. One of those. Good old meat stick. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that went from what, like 500 mil to 5 billion or something, give or take.
That was like a 10x. Yeah. That was like a 10x.
And all of that happened when ETH BTC was doing nothing. ETH USD rallied a little bit, but not really, right? Not really. Wasn't even above 4K. Went from like 3,000 to 4,000 over like a month or two. So, I mean, I know that Tommy's got a crazy Pepe fractal, but yeah, I mean, it's looking really good here, man. Like it really is looking solid. I have a lot of Pepe. I think it's going to be hard to outperform Pepe.
Sorry for interrupting you, man. I was just going to say.
Go ahead.
I think I have a little bit of a lag.
You have a little lag. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
I know that feeling.
I have a pretty gnarly Pepe fractal. He's absolutely right, and I will share it to premium members of the Discord only this afternoon. So if you want to see it, I will be sharing it. If you're already a member, you don't have to worry. But if you're not a member, it's a good time to, if you have a lot of Pepe, not a bad idea to become a premium Discord member today.
You probably should take them up on that, guys. And we're rolling out a terminal update today too, so that's going to be awesome. But yeah, I've seen the fractal. He showed it to me.
Well, he's got a couple. So
he showed me the good one.
Quite a few.
Yes, he's got many.
What do you guys think of Ton coin?
No, I'm looking at Ton again.
Oh dear.
I mean, I think it's just a
whiff.
I think it's just a good L1, but I don't necessarily think that it's going to do better than a lot of the other L1s. I think it's just another new L1, but
I just don't get how these charts got into like how is this one top 15 coin? Like when did that happen?
It's a beautiful VC scam, Jackus.
Like, like you can understand it with like if this was at least Link, right? You would say like, hey, that's been around for a while, it has a comment something, but like Toncoin, number 15, never really had any run. Why?
Wait, so this is true. Someone did give a super chat for a Pepe plan. It doesn't have to be your fractal, Tommy, but I think they want your Pepe plan, Max.
They want my Pepe plan.
They want your Pepe plan, brother.
I don't know if they're ready for my Pepe plan. You think they're ready for it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was the one with the currency. We didn't know what that was. Can someone tell me what that currency was?
It was rupees.
Was it?
I think that's what somebody said.
Indian rupees.
Easy, Jackus. Easy. Settle down now. All right.
I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
I heard that. You tried to be sneaky. I heard that. All right. You want my Pepe plan? I mean, yeah, that's... All right, look, that's a good TP spot right there. But I think you also need to consider that it might go 2 or 3x above that fib.
Yeah, where's the next one? I know you got it marked. Oh boy.
I'm gonna Tommy it.
Do it.
So we'll go over some fibs first. So here's our first range. All right, we're just going to do this. Save a little time. Here's our first range. I mean, study that, first of all. Looks unreal. Second range. Look at the fib confluence at the 2.618 right there. Do you see? Study that, right? So this is a big level. This is a really big level right here. I think this is going to play. So this is basically just when Pepe deletes another 0. But something else that I think needs to be considered is this. Actually, I tweeted this one this morning, but we can recreate it. Oh, I think I deleted it. So something that is important to note is altcoins, something like Doge or Pepe, really perform better once Bitcoin like has that first high time frame correction and then chills out. And in my opinion, there's probably a pretty decent chance that, you know, this is that correction for Bitcoin where you don't want to fumble the bag. And
I feel like alpha is going to be dropped here, guys. Better press the like button or it's a soybean chart.
oh no. That's a threat, guys. You better do it. Yeah. So this is, I think, something that people need to consider here is that Doge put in the majority of its move last cycle. Once Bitcoin came out of this high time frame correction, right? So Bitcoin pulled back from 42, 43 down to 29. It was a 30% correction over about a month. And when Bitcoin finally pulled back and then shot out of it and went to a new high, that's when we saw like the crazy move for Doge, right? That's when we saw Doge go up 10,000% in 3 months. So I'm not really sure if I think that Pepe could go up 10,000% in 3 months, but why couldn't it go up 1,000% in 3 months? Why couldn't it go up 2,000% in 3 months, right? Why would the timing be so different, right? The conditions now are most likely the same, you know, as literally, this was January, by the way. This right here was the 3rd and 4th week of January for Doge in 2021. So there's a chance we could be right in here right now for Pepe. You know, and let's look up like ETH BTC. So you can see that, you know, ETH BTC put in its bottom, and yeah, we had like a little shakeout, right? But ETH BTC bottomed and started ripping up, and then, you know, Doge went crazy, right? So maybe, just maybe, you know, we're about to see something similar. So I'm just saying, like, I think a lot of people are going to get this Pepe trade wrong. I think they're going to get psyop by the number. I think they're going to start going, oh, it's at, you know, $18 billion. That's ridiculous. It's a frog. You have to sell and take profit. And I think it's just going to keep ripping in their face. And, you know, they're going to cope. Even those that, you know, thought they had a nice position, I think they're going to get it wrong. Honestly, I've been doing a lot of rethinking on, you know, how I'm viewing Pepe here, because I mean, you guys know that, you know, we were covering this in the bear market when we were at, you know, 300 to 500 million, doing analysis on it, still holding full size. And I've added multiple times on the way up at key pivot points. And I mean, I've got a huge bag of Pepe, and my initial target was 50 billion, but you know, I think I may have been wrong on that because I didn't expect Pepe to be already at 7 or 8 billion, while ETH was still under 3,500 bucks. So it changes things for me because I know the relationship between Pepe and ETH. Like I understand how they move together, and I also recognize that if ETH pulls a 3x from here, you're going to see Pepe probably pull, at least a 10x minimum, 10 to 15x. So it's just, unless the relationship changes, then I think we're going to go a lot higher. Like I think we will see our first, 100 or 200 billion dollar meme coin this cycle, and it will make headlines all over the world. And I say, why not Pepe? Why not Pepe?
I feel like Pepe's got the best chance of any meme coin this cycle. I'm trying to think of any fart coin believers on the panel.
Any what?
Any fart coin believers on the panel? I know some people think that will be the.
I'm a base fart coin guy personally, man. I'm riding with my boy Donnie on that one. Yeah, I'm riding with the based version. I'm not fading Donnie. He's putting in that work. Are you gonna choose AI over Donnie? Nah. Study the human aspect, bro. Study Donnie. Study a man willing to stick his neck out there and risk it all, man. The based version. It's found its home on base. And the room fell silent. Come on, boys. Not all.
I know. Sorry, I was.
Wake up.
I was looking at another.
Go get some coffee. Do what you guys got to do. Come on now.
I know. I mean, that kind of tracks, and the correction we put in from 108 down to 90 also tracks with previous cycles too. So, I mean, we've talked about it for a while. Like Q1 of the post-halving year is the time for ETH and ETH beta. So, and Doge and Pepe, obviously. So, yeah.
I'm not in fart, but it would be really funny if it appeared on social media or mainstream media. Like in the news, your grandma is watching and she hears like, oh, these guys are buying farts. And she's like, what?
It would be fun if CNBC has to start talking about Fartcoin.
I think they already have.
I think they did. Yeah, they did, and it was like a headline.
Was it? I need to see it.
This is all the government's fault, man. All they had to do was keep our fiat collateralized by gold, and none of this would be happening. This is 100% their fault.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
It's true.
All they had to do was not debase our money and inflate it away. That's all they had to do. Just leave it alone.
They couldn't do it, Max. They couldn't
do it. They just fucked it up. And now we have Fartcoin, and it's their fault. So.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, whenever normies ask me about crypto, they're usually asking me like about 3 different coins. Fartcoin, XRP, and then oh, did you buy Hawk Tua coin? I'm like, dude. No, I didn't buy Hawk Tua coin. Oh.
I bet it all on Hawk Tua, and I lost everything. Where's my money, Haley?
Seriously, how's that a thing?
But guys, let's look at this too. So you understand this, right? Everybody understands this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But do you understand this?
Oh.
Do you understand this?
Explain it to me like I'm 5, Max.
Should I explain it to you like you wear a mask while you're in your car alone driving?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what you have here is Pepe, and then you have Pepe beta, right? I mean, look, it's the same chart, right? It's just Andy has bigger moves, right? So like, here's an example. We'll just take like this move from the low to like this high. Andy went up 300% into that same high. Pepe went up 105%. And, then going back over here to this pump, Pepe went up, 200 or 300%. And Andy went up 800%, right? So you can see the relationship just really quickly right here. So, to those that are like, oh, Andy's sitting at, 176 million, like, what's wrong? I'm like, just wait for Pepe to go. Like, that's your catalyst. Like, what's the catalyst for Andy? It's Pepe going tremendously higher, right? That's all you're betting on is instead of buying, I mean, here's the thing. If you're really bullish on Pepe, then what we're seeing right now, and like I can confirm to be true based on conversations I'm having with these individuals, is that people are so bullish Pepe, and instead of selling Pepe for Tether and then putting it into a centralized exchange or a DEX or whatever to collateralize that Tether and open a margin long where you have to worry about liquidations and funding, all they're doing is going on chain and buying Andy and Wolf. That's what they're doing. Right? So it's like, oh, you're really bullish Pepe? Well, consider Andy and Wolf, right? That's literally what people are doing. There was a top 100 Pepe holder that hit me up and was asking me about Andy and Wolf. He bought $1 million of Andy and $1 million of Wolf. And he doesn't need that. He owns a ton of Pepe. Why did he do it though? Because he's so bullish on Pepe and he recognizes the correlation and the relationship between Pepe, Andy, and Wolf specifically. So people are making these on-chain bullish bets that are just ultimately bets on ETH going up, which means Pepe is going to go up, which means that Andy and Wolf are going to go up way more. They're just on-chain levered longs of Pepe, right? You don't have to worry about funding or liquidations. So get ready, guys. Get ready.
Can
Come
you
on,
can you put
boys.
ETH? Can you put ETH down there instead of BTC too?
Yes, we can.
And Andy in the middle instead of BTC, or at the bottom, up to you. It's crazy that ETH is still doing absolutely nothing for so long.
I know.
It's
I'll
wild.
spare you that, bud.
But when it does, it's going to be great.
That's going to be great.
We're going to make Ethereum great again.
Mega.
Tommy.
I like that slogan.
I hope we can still make Ethereum great again in this cycle, but I am I don't know.
Say it. Say it.
What, Tommy?
I hope that we can still make Ethereum great again this cycle, but I don't know. I felt better a few weeks ago, and I know that we are trading lower now, so I shouldn't feel better about it, but I don't know.
One thing, Tommy, one thing I'm gonna say to that is study how people attacked me regarding XRP every single hour. Every single hour. It was the most annoying attacks of all time. And now everyone's chasing XRP. What I'm trying to say is that was 2.5 months ago. That's how quickly the sentiment can change. ETH
Really
can be
puts it
back.
down.
ETH can be back quicker than anything. Just needs that flip. They just need to be. He's still holding. We cannot wait any longer. Flip the switch.
I still think like 5,500, 6,000 is doable.
That's
I don't know. I'm
plenty.
less certain on the GCR target. So
That's FUD, bro. That's FUD.
You're less certain on on 10K.
yeah, I'm at least like in the context of the next 5 to 6 months. I think that is a little bit of a reach, but
I mean, at this point, guys, even BTC maxis must be bored attacking ETH. Like, it's just boring, you know. Like, everyone's like poking at that, you know, little guy in the classroom. He's the most bullied person out there. That's ETH. It's boring.
I mean,
It's
I
not
think
even
you're
fun
gonna
anymore.
have this. You're gonna have the short. I mean, Tommy, you look at the ETH BTC chart, and clearly that thing is being like mechanically pair trade twop shorted, and it has been for 3 years. Don't you think that there's at least going to be a large positional unwind in that ETH BTC chart? Because I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm fine with like 0.06," and I'm like, "Man, that's like range low. Like that's the underside test of range low. Like we're gonna go higher than like those highs have to get taken out, man."
I think we see some sort of unwind, right? Like probably back into 0.05, maybe even overshoot it. But the big outperformance that you would need to basically reverse the entire ETH Bitcoin downtrend. I don't know. I'm a little skeptical that we get that. I'd be very happy if we did. I just think the better proxy to bet on, you know, ETH strength over any period of time, as you guys have already laid out, is ultimately going to be ETH beta. And I think that Pepe is positioned to perform especially well this quarter.
I generally agree with you, of course.
Mhm.
I would never own spot ETH over ETH beta, but I'm like, man, this like someone will pay for this. Someone is getting liquidated because of this. And
Mhm.
I don't know who it is, but like someone is gonna get carted out when
It's
these highs get
crime.
big, you know?
It's crime, Max.
And I really feel like it's gonna be like this. And we'll pump here and then have like the big fake out like we did last cycle. And then we're gonna see like this, you know? And we're just gonna see like straight vertical and all those
What do
highs are
you
gonna
think
get taken out.
about 2017 parallels rather than 21? I mean, that fractal's nice too, but
Like this is my expectation. And I don't know where we top, but this is my expectation. Something like this.
go look at 17. I mean, we basically just went straight up.
We had a little, it doesn't look like it, but I mean, we had a little sell off right here, you know?
Yeah, like
That's
something
fine
like that.
too. Just a little baby. That's okay.
Mhm. And then it really didn't go until like March, though. That's what it looks like. But we should look at. Can you put others on there too?
Others dominance or others?
Others.
I'll tell you what this ETH pullback kind of feels like a little bit. I don't know if it will necessarily play out exactly the same, but it kind of reminds me of what Bitcoin did coming out of the September 2021 low right before Q4.
You said others reminds you of that?
Now, ETH reminds me of Bitcoin coming out of September 2021 a little bit. Sol kind of too.
September
I'm
2021.
gonna scroll all the way back, Tommy, because I don't have the mind that you do.
You don't
September
remember it
20.
off the top of your head?
No.
I remember September 2021 really well because that was my first like big liquidation as a perps trader was being long AVAX into that September 7th death.
Oh yeah. There
Oh,
we go.
I see what you're talking about, Tommy. Hang on. I don't.
See that?
I just don't know if it really aligns with like my cyclical bias to think that we'd be like there within the cycle though. But I mean,
I
I
don't think
see
we're
what
there
you're.
within the cycle per se. I just think this pullback that we've had from 4K recently reminds me a little bit of we had the first low set on a liquidation event. We set a second low. We chopped around it for a bit, and then we ended up sending to another high.
Oh my God! Look at that.
I see what you're talking about. I mean, I guess the big difference would be that we already overshot the high here. Like we already took out the high, where obviously this one, didn't. But I mean, I see what you're talking about for sure. Like if we ignored that and just looked at the structure from like this low, like this, like I fully see what you're talking about, right? I mean,
That would be brutal.
and I mean, even this little, like this thing right up here.
I mean, I think it looks most similar just the way it corrected, right? Less the rest of the structure.
I think there are two major differences between these, and that's that on the left side, ETH is still trading, sub 4K, like it hasn't made new cycle highs yet this cycle, versus on the right side, Bitcoin was trading far above its prior cycle all-time highs.
Yeah, I think the context is super, super different, but like just the naked fractal. Like here's the thing is I think we'll do this first part, right? So let's just have some fun with it. I think we can do. Damn it! I hate when it doesn't makes me go and log. We can do this part, and then not do the bearish follow through, right? We can use it and try to properly apply context to it. Like, imagine this, right? I don't think it would surprise anybody to see ETH make a new all-time high and like have a little rejection there initially, right? So we could do something like this, and then form some sort of like, range right in here, right? For a little bit, maybe like this, but we don't need to do, the full sell-off part of it. We don't need to do, oh, we lose the range and it's over. We could very much so, rework this, and then we break out higher from there, right? So I think maybe just kind of trying to find like a balance between, hey, the fractal looks really similar here, but the context is off. So I think this could be a decent roadmap, for what to expect next.
I mean, I think we're gonna get a fourth tap at 4K, and I mean, just the way the highs are set up is different, right? I think you're not gonna reject a fourth time at 4K if we get back up there. When we get back up there, like scroll to the left a little bit on ETH. Yeah, you see like 1, 2, 3. Like the next time we go at 4K, we're not gonna get smacked. I don't think.
I mean, technically, we've already had like 10 taps on it, bro. Like we've had,
Well, if you count last cycle, yeah. I just mean this cycle, but
yeah.
And you're getting your little inverse head and shoulder thing going on.
Yeah. I don't know. I keep just deferring back to like this, right? So if you just look at others' dominance, it's like, in my opinion, we're still so early on ETH. Like it's just too early to call it quits, right? Because others' dominance has been doing this same kind of pattern that it did last cycle. Where you do like you put in your low, little mini Altseason, high time frame, higher low, and then you get the real thing. And ETH didn't really start cooking, until this chart was, really like definitively rocketing off the low. I mean, this is in log mode, right? So this was last cycle. I'll get rid of this fractal now. So, I just have to think like this bottom should be in, and this is where ETH could be, right? Like this right here was, you know, December, January of last cycle. So if others' dominance, you know, starts climbing and we get an alt season, like ETH breaks this green box and like it's gonna pull a 2x quick, I think. I do. And we know that ETH typically, like the 180-day ROI for ETH is the best buying in December of a Bitcoin halving year and holding for literally 180 days, like half a year. So it's just like we are 15 days into that 180-day ROI period. So I just feel like it's probably best to just like be super, super long ETH and ETH beta for the next half a year and just hope that we get some crazy price action, right? But this thing really feels like a beach ball underwater to me. You know, like this whole thing is just like a massive accumulation range for ETH right here. And you're going to break out of this. And I think that the people calling for like 5K and then we're done, I just don't know if I can get behind like you range and reaccumulate for literally like 4 years and then you make a new all-time high by like 20%. That doesn't seem super logical to me. Did we lose Jackus?
We might have.
Oh,
We
yeah,
may
we
have.
did.
Yes.
That doesn't seem super logical to me.
Yeah, and I don't I don't think you need like an ETH BTC overhead breakout to get ETH USD to break out. You know what I mean? Like just send it back to the highs on ETH BTC and ETH is 7 to 8K, somewhere in there maybe.
And that's probably all we need for Pepe to go to like 100 billion too, by the way.
Yeah.
Which is like that's all that really matters. Like I own a little spot ETH, but like I'm way more overweight Pepe and Andy and Wolf, you know, than I am spot ETH. So yeah, I just, you know, I would love to see a 10 to 15K ETH, but I don't even think it's needed, right? I wonder if we get like the crazy ETH rally off of the back of like people taking profits on something like Pepe. Like what if Pepe goes to like 200 billion? People are then going to throw that back into spot ETH probably. And I wonder if that would actually be like a big divergence where we start to see Pepe like sell off and ETH starts ripping. Because like if you think about it, Doge topped last cycle when Bitcoin put in its first top. And when Bitcoin was back at 69K last cycle, Doge was still 60% off of its all-time high, right? So I wonder if we'll see like an early expedited top in Pepe or like ETH beta. ETH goes to like 6K, and then we get a correction in the summer, and then people profit take their ETH beta into ETH, and we run it back in Q4 or something like that.
Gotta get that wealth effect, that outside liquidity coming into. I mean, those would definitely be positives for ETH. But you know, I don't think that ETH really needs to do much more than break all-time high for something like Pepe to, you know, for reflexivity over the newest meme coin of the cycle to start going crazy. Like, right? Well, Doge did this, went to, especially with the unit cost bias that Pepe has. And I want to add in one more thing as well. ETH might not give us like these huge parabolic green candles, but one chart that does look very, very primed, at least relative to last cycle, is BNB, which we haven't discussed yet, but does BNB ETH looks a lot like the others chart. So I think, you know, if you're expecting others to go higher, maybe expect BNB ETH to go higher as well.
Yeah, BNB looks ready to go, man. Ready to go. I don't think it's going to outperform Pepe, so I wouldn't personally hold it because I'd rather just hold Pepe. But I mean, the crime chart.
5,800 max. Man.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's doing the same thing it did before it put in that huge leg in 21, which was in the beginning of the year.
Study. Believe in something.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? This started January 31st. It's right here. And then this happened May 7th.
Can you put Tommy was talking about BNB ETH? Can you put that below too?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So BNB ETH goes even wilder than ETH BTC.
I think it'll do the same thing again.
I mean, bro, look at this thing. Look at that the crime line right there. This is the crime line. Do you see?
So that's what we really want. Is we want BNB ETH to break out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Best to ever do it is Binance.
This is
And like
true.
we said, what if we get some positive regulatory clarity for Binance? Maybe that they can operate in the United States. Not a prediction, but never say never.
Don't fade. Congratulations on your trade. Beautiful. But you kind of owe it to Jackus because he shilled me on it. And then I shilled you on it. It's the shill train, right?
That little deviation above the 2618 though. I mean, what would that be, like 6K on BNB?
Why not?
Oh my
Why not? Dude,
That's
last cycle ETH went from $50 to almost 5K.
Yeah.
$500 billion ain't what it used to be.
$500 billion.
You wouldn't understand.
$500 billion, Max.
You wouldn't get it.
I mean, let's be honest. What is BNB's market cap right now? Like 80 or 90 billion. If you're benchmarking something like Hyperliquid against it, Hyperliquid's probably
Oof.
Oh no.
The rugger.
Tommy.
Hyperliquid
there
is
you are.
probably trading a little bit of a premium relative to Binance right now from a multiple standpoint. I think it only makes sense that you see CZ's revenge to some degree here over the next few months.
CZ will have the last laugh. I'm certain about that.
He always does.
He's going to be the wealthiest man in the world.
He probably already is.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure he owns a ton of Bitcoin.
I mean, bro, he's probably like verified net worth like 20 billion. Imagine like the unverified part.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like we joke about Justin's son, and it's like, bro, Justin's son is like, dude, he's literally an ant compared to CZ, man. Like CZ is the godfather of crypto.
Good reminder, there's always somebody with more size than you.
CZ is that guy. CZ had a tweet the other day. What was it? It was like FOMO responsibly or something like that. Let me put it up on the screen. Yeah, this was 12 hours ago, man. Like, dude, look at this tweet, man. Like, let me put this up on the screen. Dude, CZ tweeted this 12 hours ago.
Wow.
Like, what is he trying to say? Tommy, you're a professional riddler. Can you please decrypt this for me?
So he posted it right before it went vertical?
No, he posted this 12 hours ago.
Oh. Oh no. I mean, I don't have any thought. Like CZ tweets, you never know. I'll just say you never know. If it comes from the Binance intern, though, it's usually Signal.
Do you think that Alec is onto something? Damn, Tommy's internet is just fried
It's
right
been
now,
a problem all morning.
Tommy, we're company expensing Starlink for you. After this call, you're ordering it on the company card. I'm done with your internet.
Where do I order it?
Probably Starlink.com. I have no idea.
I buy some like Fugazi knockoff Starlink.
The Temu version. I mean, bro, CZ just tweeted this less than half a day ago. It's time, boys.
Just do it responsibly.
Mhm.
Now, whenever you see a tweet from the Binance intern, though, that's like a meme technical pattern, it usually plays out. Like, oh, Head and Shoulders. Well, it's probably got some signal this time.
Yeah. This is going to pop to the upside. It's going to be glorious. Tucker, what you got?
Well, what do you guys want to look at? I've just been looking at some DXY fractals on my other screen. I think it's probably about time for DXY, which is the case in this month every single cycle, guys. So I really think it's about top tier. And basically what happens is it just drops for like a year, right? Crypto won't go up that entire time, but right here, kind of what I was talking about earlier. You just drop for, I mean, that was January of 17 all the way to February of 18. So that's kind of what I think we're going to get. I mean, the structures here are the same besides this big first spike, right? We didn't really have that in the previous two, but this little, here, I'll make this cleaner. This little deviation right here looks pretty much the same. So I don't know. I think the Trump inauguration next week is gonna probably spur this, right? Because there were a lot, like, that's partially why it was rising, because there was a lot of tariff fears, basically, and that the dollar would simply strengthen the whole time. But this is what happened during his last presidency, so kind of my base case for the dollar here.
That would be fun.
Yes, yes.
That's still my thoughts on the dollar. I mean, I just don't really see it making new highs. Although, if some of the commentary on a higher time frame about elevated yields comes to fruition, then obviously the dollar can keep going up. But right now, it's not really my expectation that either of those things happen. Oh my gosh. What do you guys think my answer to this question is?
Dude, they destroyed Popcat. I haven't seen it today. Can we take a look at it?
Absolutely not bullish on Popcat.
Dude, I checked it, I think 2 days ago. They did a number on Popcat. Tucker, you might need to pull it up, bro.
It's sadistic what they did to that poor little thing. It really is.
Popcat.
I mean,
It's so
low-key
beaten down that I feel like
that
the
one.
complacency
That one.
bounce on it will be epic from a multiple standpoint, but I'm personally just not interested in buying this thing.
Did they get a Binance listing? Is that what happened?
They did. I don't know if that's what topped it. Actually, no, they just we just swept the contract listing price on Popcat, which is pretty funny.
For the Binance contract?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So it was down here is in September.
It was August 22nd. So
Just pull up the Binance chart below it, Tucker.
Yeah. Was it futures?
yes.
I got a bunch of these. Yeah, it was
So sweep the
25.5.
Binance low.
Yeah.
probably a decent shove here, but I'm not playing it. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not touching this one. Maybe it ends up like a phantom, where it made a double top, but I feel like there's just going to be better risk reward buying a new chart than hoping for reversion out of something like Popcat.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about old Popcat.
This is probably the low in the near term. Because if it's not, I mean, it's literally going to go. We're not gonna give the price targets to the downside if it breaks down here. But it's a lot lower than here. I'm not buying this coin. The Soul coin I think I'd rather buy is Fartcoin. I was just taking a look at it. I actually don't think it looks that bad.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like Tia, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So you could just do this for a while. You know.
Maybe Popcat's like a perp long here, but I can't be arsed. Back to like $2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on that note, Tommy, it's time to end the show. Take us out.
Yeah, I think ending on Popcat is a pretty good way to end. If you are still a Popcat holder, hopefully you are not, but I'm saying a prayer for you today. I'm saying a prayer that it bounces. Let me share my screen though, guys. If you heard anything today that you particularly enjoyed, if you like the coin prices today, if you believe in a lot of the kind of ideas and targets that we were mapping out on today's show, we have a few more options for you to get a little bit more in depth with our team and, of course, our ecosystem. Come join our family, guys. A few different ways that you can do that. The first of which being your go-to tool for the cycle, guys. That is the BB terminal. Whether or not you are an active trader on lower time frames, trading derivatives, whether or not you are an investor, with a more long-term focus, looking to make data-driven. I cut out for a second there again, but we have the tool for you as well. And of course, whether or not you are an on-chainer, you love meme coins, you love trading AI agents, and whatever the newest meta is, we've got the tool for you as well. So make sure to check out the BB terminal, guys. As we always say, as the price of the market goes higher, so do the prices of our products. And if majors do what we think they can do in Q1, well, I would take advantage of these prices, especially with the Discord, guys, because we are probably running out of space for members at these current prices. It is getting a little bit crowded there, but that is because we give you guys so much of our time, 4 to 5 hours of daily calls where we just talk about the market. We talk about what we're seeing. And of course, we post in our channel our intimate thoughts on what we're seeing. Sometimes even includes our trades. So make sure to check that out as well. And of course, if you're looking to hone your educational base or even reach trading level mastery, we have an academy as well. Come learn from the team. And I would say it's invaluable to be able to learn from so many different trading styles that this team possesses, right? Like if you're in our Discord, you already know how different pretty much everybody in there approaches the market. But I also think that's what makes it so unique. That's what makes it so valuable. But of course, maybe the downside volatility is a little bit too much. Maybe it's hard for you to be able to pick winners in this market. Maybe you want the team to be able to manage capital for you. We have a solution for you as well. And that is our SEC registered hedge fund, BB Wealth Management. Make sure to reach out. We'll do our best to get back to you as soon as we can. And a reminder that we focus on digital assets in a way that looks to capture their asymmetric history for upside returns while also balancing the downside risks posed in any financial market. So if anything that I said over the last 2 minutes has resonated with you, make sure to check out the description in the bio. Everything is linked below. And if you enjoyed Market Check today, we'll be back for another episode tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not to forget, Market Talk hosted by King Wabi. That is hosted Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday in the afternoons. So make sure to stay Wabi, as well as the Because Bitcoin account, so you can be notified not just when we schedule those spaces, but also when we go live. But that's it from us, guys. We hope that you enjoyed the show today. Obviously, the market has reacted very favorably to the CPI print that we had this morning, and we will see how things develop here over the coming weeks and the coming months. But thanks again, as always. And of course, stay safe, guys.